Hi, welcome to AnimeCons TV. I'm Patrick Delahanty. A week ago I got home from BlizzCon. It was my 6th BlizzCon. Actually, it was my 9th. 3 of them were virtual attendance through their virtual ticket, and 6 were in person. And as always, it was an amazing experience. BlizzCon, if you're not familiar with it, is put on by Blizzard Entertainment. They have World of Warcraft, Starcraft, Diablo, Heroes of the Storm, Hearthstone, and Overwatch. And so if you're a fan of any of those games, this is the event that you need to go to. They have tournaments there for the World Championships of all of their games, and so you can watch the best players in the world that have competed at tournaments in regionals everywhere come together, and you'll see them playing Starcraft with some amazing moves. You're going to see Overwatch in a giant arena and teams from the best countries around the world taking each other on to see who's the best worldwide. And there's World of Warcraft matches and Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm. It's an amazing thing to see. And you know, I don't compete in these games. I play Starcraft and Overwatch. I used to play World of Warcraft. I occasionally go into Hearthstone. So I'm not great, but it's fascinating watching these tournaments. I mentioned last year I saw the Starcraft tournament, and I had to go back this year, and it was just as amazing. This year they didn't have it in the arena. They put Overwatch in the arena, and by the way, that was fascinating to watch, and I'll talk more about that later. But yeah, Starcraft, thought maybe this year we'd have somebody unseat the South Korean, and it was close. Somebody from Mexico made it really close, but no, it was Rogue won. His name is Rogue, and he won, not Rogue One Star Wars. But congratulations to Rogue, and I enjoyed watching the Starcraft finals again. They moved that out into the main hall of the convention center. Oh, by the way, the convention's held at the Anaheim Convention Center across the street from Disneyland, and they expanded the convention center last year. If you were there last year, you saw them. There was a lot of construction, and they were building something new. Well, it turns out they're building more exhibit halls for the convention center, and so BlizzCon took advantage of that and had the Hearthstone stuff and their Dark Moon Fair area over in the new area, and that let them spread out more on the existing convention floor space. And so they made really good use of all the convention space they had. Because of the popularity of Overwatch, and last year they had Overwatch in an arena on the main convention floor, and it was just packed constantly. You couldn't get in. So what they did was they moved Starcraft out of the arena, and they gave it almost an entire convention hall, probably half, but they gave it a large portion of a convention hall, and they moved Overwatch into the arena, and so they had like almost 360-degree seating around the contestants playing in the center of the room. It worked really well, and yeah, it was fascinating to watch, and it was always packed. And there were some points, especially towards the end of the tournaments, where they wouldn't let any more people in. They even packed that large space because so many people wanted to see Overwatch. It's crazy how popular this has become in the last couple of years since the game launched. But yeah, there's so much going on at BlizzCon. I mean, I've jumped right into it, but you get there, and well, first you have to get tickets, and that's really hard to do because they sell out almost instantly. I lucked out this year and got tickets. In the past, I've had to rely on friends who've gotten tickets for me, but yeah, this year I lucked out and got my own. And so if you can get tickets, because these Blizzard games are crazy popular and everybody wants to go, and it's down in Southern California, so everybody down there that plays is going to go, and people fly in from all around the world. Literally over 100 countries were represented by attendees there. So you get there and you walk through the gauntlet of food trucks, And because there's so many people, they invite food trucks in and they line up the street outside the convention center. And so there's a variety of places to eat. You don't have to worry about that. You can go to get your badge. This is something I need to bring up. I think I brought it up last year. You go into a hall that's in the basement, and it's on the south end of the convention center, and you have to go in. You go downstairs, you go through a bag check, and then they have the store, and out back they have the badge pickup. They won't let you into the store unless you've gotten your badge yet. So maybe they should put the registration first, but there was some confusion about that with people. But you go to the back, get your badge, and then to get into the convention, you have to leave and go outside and leave the secured bag check area and go into the other line where people are trying to get into the convention center. You've already had your bag checked, and so now you have to leave and go through bag check again. And it's really frustrating because you waited on the line, you went through bag check, and you leave, and you have to go through bag check. And towards the beginning of the weekend, they were pretty, they were going over the bags with a fine-tooth comb. They would look in every pocket. I had my video camera that I'm using now that I recorded footage with, and she said, "Oh, this isn't allowed." And I checked the rules. It is. They don't allow professional video cameras, and I've got a little handheld thing. And so I said, "No, this is." I specifically checked. It's not professional. It is allowed, but fortunately, there's a supervisor right there that said, "No, that's fine." And so it wasn't more than a few seconds, but momentary panic there that, hey, not only can I not bring the camera in, but I'm gonna have to hoof it all the way back to my hotel to drop it off and then come back and get my stupid badge. They also didn't allow outside food and drink. So if they found a Coke in your bag, too bad, you have to throw it out. And the trash cans by the bag check were filled with Coke and Mountain Dew and all these other, just water. They want you to buy all your food inside the convention center. So even if you go to the food truck, you have to eat it outside before you go back in. There are some places to eat inside. The lines weren't as bad this year as I've seen them in the past, and I think the food trucks helped with that. They had the food truck last year, but still the lines inside for food were crazy. But actually in the Overwatch arena, there were large lines there, but there was only one concession stand in that arena. So, but yeah, you can't bring in outside food and drink. I will admit I did hide some Chex Mix. I saw that they didn't allow the food and drink, and I mean, I could like half a small bag of Chex Mix. I didn't want to throw it out, so I just took it out of my bag, stuck it in my back pocket. They looked through my bag. "Oh, you're fine." Then I take it out of my pocket, put it back in my bag. Now, bag checks, you might think, "Oh, well, I just won't bring a bag." Well, Blizzard made sure everybody had a bag because they gave you bags. When you register for the convention, every year they give you little freebies. Some are in-game, so you may get a little pet for World of Warcraft or some card backs for Hearthstone or whatever. But they would also give you a little gift. Last year we got a Stein to celebrate BlizzCon's 10th anniversary. This year they gave everybody backpacks. And the first thing I noticed about these was that they have little things on here. And these are actually just held on with Velcro. And so that's neat. It's not an actual pin or anything. And so they give you these 6 for their 6 games. And then you can either buy more for certain little badges, or you can go around to different vendors and earn free ones. And you had to do different things for different badges. One of them, NVIDIA, HP, and Razer made you go to those 3 booths, and you'd go back, and you'd have to, the lines for that were way too long, and it wasn't worth it. But if you just go to Razer's booth, and they had a separate thing where you could just go take a selfie in a little corner thing with Razer in the background, post it on Instagram, and hey, they give you a little Razer thing. Overwatch World Cup, T-Mobile was just giving those away to tweet out something. And there were some others that they had that I didn't get, and so towards the end they just seemed to be giving them away, like, here, just have this. Like this, there was just a pile of these Junkrat ones that, yeah, here, have it. This one I got for playing Overwatch, the new part that they announced. Okay, so not only to get the bag in these Velcro things, they give you this little charm of mercy. And let's see what else we get. A lot of pockets in this, which I like. You get a pin, which is a random pin. Mine is from Overwatch. I originally got a Necromancer. I traded that with my friend. Let's see. And in here, they have a store where you can buy lots of other merchandise. Let's see, they tell you get more badges. There's a sample of the Before the Storm World of Warcraft novel. It's like the first chapter. So there's that. So you can check that out. This is a random little cute thing. I got McCree from Overwatch, little stand. And was that it? I think that was it. Yeah, I think that, if that's not it, I forgot stuff, but it's not in there. I think that was everything. Oh, wait, there's another pocket. Yeah, see, there's another pocket here that I discovered later. They had. They also gave out, for watching the tournaments, they had posters, blank poster board, and you could write on it with Sharpie and make big signs. They wanted to encourage a lot of audience cheering and participation. And I found out after the fact, if you filled one out, they would give you a badge that said Blizzard Esports. If I had known, I would have done that. I did get these thunder sticks, though, to say BlizzCon, and you'd blow them up and bang them together. And so that's the free stuff they give you. Let me put it all together here. And but having a backpack was really convenient because I could just, put my drink in there. I had my camera I put in there, and all this other stuff. I could just put it right in. And so it was really handy. And we went to Disneyland the day before BlizzCon, because check-in starts at 9 a.m. We actually saw some BlizzCon backpacks in Disneyland the day before, and I was like, oh, that must be those backpacks they're giving out. And it's pretty good if you're going to Disneyland. You have a place to put all your snacks and drinks. So what else about BlizzCon? They have a great community contest which consists of a costume contest. They have music contests or a talent show, but it's all music. I suppose there could be a magician some year, but it's been all music acts. And let's see, they've got art contest, and they do a video film contest. And the costume contest is probably the highlight for most people of the fan community event. And it was hosted by Chris Hardwick, who you know from every AMC after show. And so he introduced all the costume contestants, and they broke it up into 3 or 4 different sections between other things. So it wasn't just a constant flow of cosplayers. They'd bring 10 out at a time or so. They'd come, stand on stage, and then move off. They didn't do any skits or anything. It was just walk-ons. But these costumes are top-notch. They're some of the best costumes for anything that I've seen, and they're all Blizzard themed for any of their games. And the winners were all really impressive. And then there's a lot of costumes that you'd see on the floor where people didn't enter the costume contest, or props. Bill Duran and his wife Brittany Duran, you may know from Punished Props on Twitch, and He does all sorts of great cosplay creations made out of foam. And they made a Probius from Heroes of the Storm. And it was remote controlled, moving around the floor, and a cute little thing, really impressive. And they traveled here with it. It breaks apart and they put it in 4 bags. I'm amazed they were able to fly with this thing. The Heroes of the Storm team also built their own Probius. I guess neither knew that the other somebody else was doing the exact same thing. So there were actually 2 Probiuses going around. I think Bill's was better. And it was certainly faster. They had a little race at one point. And but those are both actually at Blizzard headquarters now. Bill donated his to Blizzard, and of course Blizzard has their own. But it was fun to see him and Probius. Let's see, what else was going on at BlizzCon? There's so much stuff. And it's only a 2-day convention, but they cram so much into 2 days. And it always ends with a concert. And so I remember way back, I saw Ozzy Osbourne play. A few years ago, they had Foo Fighters playing. Last year was Weird Al Yankovic. This year was Muse. And so Muse put on an amazing show. It's actually not my favorite performance I've seen at BlizzCon. Weird Al, I think, seemed to fit it best and seemed to really click with the audience the best. Foo Fighters, I'd say, was second. And Muse, they had some Blizzard, like he had brought out a Overwatch mask at one point, and didn't seem to, it was Muse though, so if you're there to see a Muse show, it was great. And they did play the 2 Muse songs I know. So that was good. But a tip for anybody attending BlizzCon: if you're going to do some game demos, do it during the concert, because a lot of people have either left or they're at the concert, and so the lines for the game demos, if you want to try out any of the new stuff they've announced, then during the concert is the perfect time to do it. And so I got to try out the new Overwatch character they announced, Moira, and the new map that they announced, Blizzard World, which, by the way, is hilarious. They made a map for Overwatch called Blizzard World, and it's a theme park based on Blizzard properties. So you've got a section of the theme park for Warcraft, you've got one for Starcraft, you've got Diablo, there's a Hearthstone tavern, there's Heroes of the Storm arcade, and Lost and Found Vikings, a reference to one of their really early games. And so that it was, I can't wait to play that map in Overwatch. And but I did get to play it at BlizzCon, and it seems really challenging, so that's good. They also announced a new World of Warcraft expansion. They announced that Starcraft is going to be free to play, so you can get, Starcraft 2. So you can, if you don't have Starcraft and you've been interested in it, download it. You can play the multiplayer for free. You can play the first expansion for free. It's if you want to play the other 2 expansions for that, then you have to pay for those, but they're cheap. But you can start out for free. So download Starcraft. I love that game. I want to play it right now. And yeah, so that's BlizzCon in a nutshell. So much stuff, and just the atmosphere of the convention is amazing. This is my 6th time there, and it's always really impressive. And I can tell the people who've never seen a convention like that before, and never been to BlizzCon before, they walk in and eyes just, whoa. Because the tickets are really expensive, but they put on a damn good show. And yeah, it's unparalleled. It's not my favorite convention because I like the little ones, but I always have a great time. I see a lot of friends there. I get to try some new stuff, and I enjoy it a lot. And if you have any interest in Blizzard games, you've probably heard of BlizzCon. And you should try to go at some point. Just once. If you can't, you can always sign up for their virtual ticket. You can watch every event that they do live online. And so if you want to just see the announcements for one game and maybe see the concert and the costume contest, you can watch it online. They do opening ceremonies for free, but if you want to watch stuff beyond that, like tournaments or whatever, you pay, and it's a lot cheaper than going to the convention. And you do get in-game perks with it. You just don't get the actual swag, but you can buy this separate too. So it's a good cost-saving method. But yeah, if you can get there in person just once, it's amazing. And it's one of those bucket list sort of things that you should try. I'm not sure if I'll be back next year just because of scheduling and stuff, but I'll probably at least do the virtual ticket because it's really fun to watch. And if you were at BlizzCon, or if you've got questions about BlizzCon, you can contact me through the podcast at podcast@animecons.tv, or call our voicemail line. Please leave us voicemails. It's 762-ADEQUATE, that's 762-233-7828. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, just comment down below. That's, you know, where the comments go, down there. It's a wretched hive of scum and villainy. And also, if you're viewing this on our website, animecons.tv, it's a new website. What? Whoa, it's all different and changed and mobile responsive now. Yes, finally. And hope you enjoy this design, because the rest of the animecons.com and fancons.com site is going to eventually resemble this. How about that? So check it out at animecons.tv and let us know what you think. And we'll see you next week. Bye.